At 51 years old, Abraham Lincoln won the presidency. Within weeks, 7 states left the Union. The greatest victory of his life became the beginning of his worst nightmare. Lincoln was born in a one-room log cabin in Kentucky in 1809. His family was poor, and he received less than a year of formal education. He borrowed books because he couldn't afford them and taught himself by candlelight. As a young man, nothing seemed to work. His store in New Salem failed, leaving him buried in debt for years. He lost election after election. Friends began treating him as the man who always came close, but after every defeat, he returned with pages of handwritten notes studying every mistake. Then came 1858. Lincoln challenged Stephen Douglas for a U.S. Senate seat. He lost again. National newspapers published the debates, turning an unknown lawyer into a recognizable voice across America. The defeat became an opportunity. 2 years later, he was elected President of the United States. Then everything collapsed before he could even take office. Southern states announced their secession. Weeks later, the Civil War began. Union armies suffered repeated defeats. Newspapers called him incompetent. Even members of his own party doubted he could save the country. It looked as though every failure in his life had simply prepared him for one final public collapse. Instead, Lincoln made the decision that defined history. On January 1st, 1863, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, transforming the war into a fight against slavery as well as for the Union. It was a political gamble that could have destroyed his presidency. Instead, it changed the course of the conflict. By 1865, the Union had won. Slavery was abolished with the 13th Amendment. The man remembered for preserving a nation spent most of his life losing in front of everyone. His greatest strength was never avoiding failure. It was refusing to let failure decide which chapter would be the last.